Alright. Is this, you guys can, hear me? We've got 2 people watching, at least that link is working. You guys can hear me? Audio working? Okay, great. Cool, and you can hear sound miner. I think what it was just because of OBS, I had to get the advanced settings. I probably just fucked it up again now, but I had to go to 48K. So, just computer having a freak out. I won't get rid of it. Okay, let's go Mildura. So I just recorded these sounds like these bangs, which are nice. You know, sometimes when you're just going through your library stuff, you just might find some sounds that might work. That is kind of that internal, Lynchian, structural kind of thing. Maybe this bang here. I'm just going to chuck it down there. It's going to be an inner turmoil somewhere. Who knows? There you go. She's in bed. And it's going. Cool. Let's go. Murray River. Distant cars. That could work. Especially for when she is here. Just nothing in film. Okay, that goes over there. Great. And this is that whole opening scene. Yep. Okay, so we start to kind of collect some sound. So whenever we're in the... Let's just build scene. So I'm going to roughly chuck in a few sounds that are just going to be layering there. This is for inside the house. General ambient. So we're not doing elements, so I might just do... Just chuck it in. Make sure it's like long enough. It's a bit coastal, but you guys get the idea. Cool. Duplicate down. That's pretty nice. It's do work, try and figure out, you know, if you need to loop that, just do that like that. Okay, whoops. I'll try and break. Partly library. This one I didn't record. Digi commercial Digi effects. Don't know where that one's from. But yeah, the Mildura one is from me, and some aren't. The more I kind of get a little bit, try and get fussy. If it's about a location, sometimes just going to that location and recording it can be really good. You know, just be careful of light. But you know, maybe this, if you hear a cool sound, like that's really cool. I gotta like that. But when is she outside? And it's stark here. Bang. Just chuck that in. And we'll just kind of like slowly just... It's about getting mass. Just be careful of birds. You don't want too many. What else? So country, birds. Okay, and then it's just making me think of like there you go. Okay, let's do it without trying to be too tropey with it, you know, howling wolves, but let's just chuck it in here when she's in bed. Was it the first time? Something like that. There we go. Let's just chuck that in there. Just think of like a collage. We're just trying to get the clippings like a collage. Alright. Just a trope. Yeah. Okay. Do we have anywhere where, you know, when she's going along here, maybe, you know, maybe this shot here, the camera's next to the lake, the river. So let's just go up to elements. Boom. Let's just chuck that in. We'll come back and edit it tighter. Thunder. This gives us an idea. Elements. Another track. Let's go. Yeah, in here I think is when she starts to kind of freak out, and thunder can be a good way just to kind of give that uncertainty, destabilize it a bit. Alright. Tropical forest. No, we're looking for more temperate. My computer is having a... Okay. Winds. We're all in elements here for this. Let's just go down. Okay, let's layer a few winds in down here. So I'm kind of jumping all over the place. That's all right, but I'm keeping everything as organized in kind of groups as I can, and I'm roughly getting it spotted into the right spot, and I can tighten it up later. And it might just kind of cue me in for some thoughts on layout. So yeah, that's good. And then it just makes me think of while we're here, so this is all to do with winds in elements, but then I'm just thinking forests, creeks. Alright, you just start to find some nice sounds that can kind of work for something. It's a little bit pretty abstract. Starting to get our acousmatic listening going. Let's just chuck that around there. It's got a certain kind of feeling to it. Alright, I'm just going to layer a number of them in. And then it's easy to just kind of go, you know, for example, I'm just going to go then. Let's just turn these down a bit. Okay, looking at the forest and just watching this scene here, this sequence here, where it's going to be a fair bit of wind. Okay, we got that one. It's giving that vibe. That one's that vibe. We haven't got heaps of wind here. And maybe you can get a bit more there. What's this one doing? Not heaps sold on the pops, but you know what I mean? You can just like put a few in, then you can quickly check, go between them. So I always bloat it out heaps at the start, and then you start trimming it back and make decisions. Oh. Okay, it's quite noisy. It's a bit jungly. Okay, so I want to get that tension. Like, if I have those trees creaking here, this whole section here is about her. She's tense. She's tense. Let's just call it at that. But house creaks. Maybe we put it in house creaks and tree as well. And maybe we can just we can extend on that instead of tree creaks. Maybe we can go rope. You know, it might not work, but any idea is a good idea at the start. That's slightly disturbing. Kind of house stuff here. Panic. Alright. Objects, sweetener. Let's go back down to Lynchian. Okay. Just slowly, then you can just go, cool, let's just think about, put your Lynch hat on. And then, like, later down the track, then when you're editing, you just go, okay, well, that's cool. It's a little bit dry. Let's just add this reverb to it, to one underneath as well. And then we've got this. Yep, that's all I need. It's a little bit too rhythmic, so maybe I'm just going to just kind of take out a piece. Maybe that's all you need, just like a little bit there, and then a bit of this here, and a little bit of this here. Yeah, we just need more. And then with composition, maybe that's kind of getting a little bit of that going. And then maybe you've got another layer here of thunder. We hear her breaths, and then maybe we'll try and get some kind of swell going on. So just look at tense swell. No, lame. I'm just gonna put that as a layer. It does sound a little produced, but it's all right. Up to here, that's the snap. We start to get to build some shape around it. And you can even just then take it and just slow it down even more. Just put another one in, that'll extend it. Alright, so kind of aiming for internal world, internal. Scraping metal. Alright. My son last night was freaking out. He didn't want to sleep in his bed because he made a pillow for it. So he had to sleep on the floor. He was for a bit, but then he was looking under the bed and he was freaking out. So just like, what can we do to kind of basically give her a childhood panic attack? All right, let's. You get what I mean. I'm just scraping metal, like. Just gonna, that's pretty noisy. It's going to get in the way. Anyway, I'm just aware of time. I'm going to move on. Yeah. Okay, so I would probably try and aim for an extra 1 or 2. So, about 4. And then what I'm going to do is... That was another sound for later. That's all right. So I'm going to then, whenever we are inside the house, so I've just built this scene roughly around inside the house in this location. Just going to take that, duplicate it, and then whenever we're in that situation, just going to plonk it down, rough as guts. Yeah, but it's daytime as well. So there as well. Then what we can do, we've got this, yeah, this is my scenes, I think, that's why. It's locked, which is good, maybe it isn't, but, okay, so now we know the start of this scenes track and the end of this scenes track is bound to this scene only. Outside of it, we don't want these sounds. These aren't appropriate for out here. Or maybe they are, but we can... we're just cutting it for the inside. So select it, semicolon and P if you've got this AZ ticked. Without that ticked, it won't do it. AZ, semicolon, down, shift, down, down. All right, I've got that. Command T, we just cut that whole scene. It's rough and we'll need to go through and tidy it up. But then at least we can pretty quickly just go, okay, we are outside. Inside. Okay. We pretty quickly realized that some of these sounds need to go play outside as well. That's when you can get the edit moving along a bit more and just it works. Just play around with it. And similar so we've got this here and here. And we'll maybe move on to another ambience there. You can just select those two, down, bring them in to get it to the right level. We've also got an outside to deal with as well, and it's trying to have a layer for outside and a layer for inside room tone kind of feeling as well. Just enough to play with. Void, Void is a good... Like that's where the room tone will fit in really well. As you can see here, I'm just starting to put in some spots. So we just hit play. Maybe we want this earlier. Let's get that one. Yeah. And often, if there's a bit of music, little bit of music going, and maybe you got a couple of subjective sounds or something like that going, you can often, in your VCA group in mixing, only when we're mixing, don't do this now, maybe what we're going to do is we'll hollow out the scene. So we'll just slowly turn down, using the VCA, all of those ambiances. So it's not just full of noise and white noise all the time. You can just like slowly ease that off. We introduce it, so it's full at the start. We ease it off and then back up again. And then we can fill it with a bit more sharp kind of more deliberate spots, but without the spots just being naked and out by themselves. So just like, that's what I looked up, plain distant. And then I kind of digressed. This is super laggy. You know, I'm just going to select that for now. So the aim is then get this nice, clean sounds in the middle. Slowly fades down. You know, you start to blend. Often I'll put, if there's dialogue heavy, sometimes it's good to just put a couple of little spots at the start of the scene. Spots are really good for kind of, you can be really super deliberate. It's like, boom, countryside. What's going on? You know, dog bark, plane going overhead, next door neighbor. You know, there's a car horn that goes. There's a bird chirp, crow. You know, just be handball it around. Don't play them all at the same time. Oh god, this is so laggy. All right, let's see if we can just find something. No, I'm not going to use that bit, whatever. You know, you just have to find all the little spots that you possibly can. Like doves or okay, so maybe it's just getting a little bit of that and using this as a spot. And maybe we're getting it to the wind up into there. You know, that's kind of spots. No. You might be able to find, what was the words you guys used? You won't be able to find a student version of it, student edition, but you might be able to, there's another one called, sick, or Basehead is another one. You might be able to find a version of that around online, Basehead. Yeah, and there's like another one called, I think something like Audio Finder. Like that. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of background, but you just do that for every scene. So here, I mean, here there's not going to be as much, but we're going to be articulating the wind a little bit on the window, out the window. Here, yeah, that's all backgrounds. Anyway, we're an hour. Okay. Door. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's take these. Yep. Let's bring these down into our group and delete these. So now whenever I'm soloed, it's going to bring them. Great. Cool. Some really good elements in there. So there's the lock. Let's I'd say maybe a little bit less, just yeah, to make it's not like so it's not a dramatic. Get rid of pre-roll. Oh my god, everything is on the screen. I'll just make it a bit bigger. So this is to do with this, okay, and we see the handle turn. Yep. Now the only thing that I'm noticing is that sounds a bit like different doors, a bit fades on everything. And maybe get rid of that one. Some keys. That's good. Maybe put it a little bit later when we actually see the keys down here. A bit earlier, it's fine. Alright. You know, just layers. You can just thicken it. Boom. So we see the door handle go up there. Yeah, anyway, so like you could probably like double up a lot of that. This is getting a bit what's in the original? I mean, there's some pretty good stuff in this. I'll probably cut around that a bit, and then you're thickening it up with but just yeah, you just keep working on that and yeah, see if there's any PFX, but it's a bit more natural with that. We've only got one vehicle here. All right, I'm gonna try and focus, try and see if we can find a. You know, there's a door on the car here. Sliding door. It's alright, it's a little bit nice. Trying to think about the character of the car. And also just the boom. She's kind of like going pretty hard at it. She's got keys as well, and this is where you kind of just like, thank God for Foley, because Foley will cover some of it. But all right, now so that works. It's just too long, so then just kind of bring that forward. You know, just boom. That's where it is. Just bring it forward. Bang. Yeah, that's all right. All right, let's just a little bit. I kind of like that one a bit more. It's just not ridiculous. What have we got here? EQ. And this is what I mean by layering. Like this one down here has got a nice richness to it, and it's kind of got some good low frequencies, but it's missing a bit of that, just that raw, realistic. Once you got one in place, this makes it a bit easier. Let's just turn that up a bit. Let's just see what we can get. We're even getting the hand on time. Boom. It's not too bad. It feels very quiet. Okay, together. Yeah, that's what I mean just by layering. You just come at it from a couple of different angles. One's a bit more gritty and kind of just got a texture all through it. And then the other one might just have that low frequency that carries it and thickens it up a bit. And then maybe you go in and just do a bit more of a click, door, handle. I mean, it's not the right sound, but I'm just need to move along. Just go rip. So we're even a little bit early with that. It's hard to get a sense about how loud we are. I think we're about there. Just listen to this one. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, that's pretty good. But then we need it to ideally using the same sound. There you go. She let's go of it. Right. There. So now we've got it's not the right sound, but and then sometimes it's a bit too complicated. It's a bit too plasticky, but maybe in amongst it will work okay. It sounds like too much like a door. Too reverberant. Car, door, handle. Yeah, but even that maybe, and then you come at it with this. You can mono some stereo sounds a bit. That's fine. Other in time. Lump. Lump. It's got a better sound to it, but then maybe if we just turn that down, it'll just thicken it. It's that's rolling on too long. Try and be efficient with your sounds. Fades on everything. Alright, chuck it in with this. You know, overall just down a bit. Probably turn that one down a bit more. We're gonna get it too layered. So see, when this one's in, it sounds like a galloping horse. Da-da-dum. And you just sometimes take out a bit. Now it's just like thump. So it's the difference between or. Yeah, and if you get, it's good to have a bit of a roll on these sounds, but like for a door handle, like that's too much. Just a couple of little beats to it could be good. You know, and then you've got even things like, you know, then you got all the ruffling around, all of that. You know, maybe objects will go in here, and this is all cloth, and just like trying to get a bit of movement in the cloth here. So you can, I've been kind of going pretty rando, jumping between groups. But once you start to get a bit of a collection of stuff, then you just like, all right, just put your doors and vehicles hat on, and then you just basically spot through the entire film and go, am I missing any doors? Okay, I got that door, that's fine. And got that door, that's fine. And just think about every single door. You know, there's doors on the car, doors in the house, that door there. When the door, when she bashes it, opens up the door here. And pan, and bash. Now we know that that's probably going to be pretty hectic and lots of music. So then maybe we have like a wire door. Fly screen. Okay, but you can start to kind of thread in some things that you got music, you got a lot of covering fire. Why not just chuck in a little bit of a bang, a bit of a hit. I think that's the left and the center channel, because we've got a left, center, right, left around, right around, LFE. Even if it's not quite right, just put it in. Yeah, anyway, you can hunt around for 10 years on every sound effect. Alright, that's all the time I've got for doing this bit. We need to really do these talks. Yeah, the big thing is just like layering it, detail, any sound that you could possibly do, getting that depth through layering and deep sounds, and trying to clear out some of the noise as well. We don't want to add more noise. We just want to add the sounds that we need. Keeping it consistent, trying to be natural, and adding a few sweeteners like door squeaks and stuff like that can open it up and make it a bit more interesting. If you guys, for your whips for next week, just try and just smash as many sound effects edits as you can, and then we can continue on from this. Next week we don't have any talk, so we can spend a lot of time just really bashing down that door there. All right, I'll see you guys over in the other chat in a sec.